Alright YouTube, welcome to another Dr. Honda video. Today we are comparing a CyberTruck Foundation Series and our Honda CR-V Sport Touring all-wheel drive. Why these two vehicles? Well, personally, it was a deciding factor for me. These were the two vehicles that I personally was thinking about. This is my friend's CyberTruck, and I actually have mine on reserve from November 2019. But today we'll be looking at them a little bit more in depth, checking out the interior, talking about the range, the cargo space, durability, overall comfort and feel, seeing what the main differences are and what would be right for you if you guys are also debating between these vehicles. If not, no worries, just hang around and let's take a look at some great cars. Okay, first we're going to be talking about design and appearance, comparing these two vehicles. So obviously Tesla Cybertruck, very modern design, stainless steel panels, very elegant to most. Some may not like it at all, to each their own. It's your car at the end of the day, so whatever you like, it's up to you. But I really dig the futuristic look. Kind of reminds me of a Warthog from Halo, and if I were to get one, I personally would probably paint it in those colors. But let's go all the way around. Let's take a look. Let's come in here and test that stainless steel. Nice and resistant. Probably would not want to do that on the Honda so I don't dent my car, but very impressive durability on the Tesla Cybertruck. Alright, so next we're going to be taking a look at the design and appearance of the Honda CR-V 6th generation Sport Touring all-wheel drive. I think it's a very elegant design that flows well all the way through and through, from the details on the hood all the way to the back. Much more aggressive and boxier design here in the front compared to 2022 or the 5th generation or 4th generation's completely different vehicle in my mind. Maybe some resemblances towards the rear of the vehicle, but overall completely different build than previous generation CR-Vs. We got these very aggressive hood ports on the front, and I added a little hood deflector right there. Great for blowing up rainwater over while driving. We got the little roof rails there, great for carrying large loads that I've used multiple times with some ratchet straps. But overall, a very nice look, a little bit more conventional than your Tesla Cybertruck, but beautiful design overall. Alright, next we're going to be talking about the performance of these vehicles. The Honda CR-V and the Cybertruck both have a top speed of about 130 miles per hour. Both have electric engines, but with some differences. We have a Cybertruck with a dual motor electric engine getting around 600 horsepower. This Honda CR-V is going to have around 204 horsepower with an electric engine combined with the 2-liter direct injection Atkinson motor. And that is mainly going to act like a generator to keep the car going while at the same time kicking in at higher speeds. And the Tesla is going to have a 0 to 60 speed of about 2.6 seconds, while Honda CR-V is going to have about 8 seconds for 0 to 60, so quite a big difference there. But they're both going to top out at the same maximum speed of around 130 miles per hour. The Tesla Cybertruck is also going to be able to tow up to 11,000 pounds, versus the Honda CR-V is only going to be able to do 1,000 pounds. So very different uses for these vehicles. A lot of similarities, but in terms of towing, probably going to want to go with the Cybertruck. In terms of travel, we're going to have a little bit of differences here. So the Tesla is rated at about 340 miles on a charge, realistically getting around 300, and then the Honda CR-V is going to get you around 500 miles on a single tank. And it costs currently in California $4 a gallon. Is going to be around $45 to fill this up, and depending on if you're charging at home, it's going to be a lot less. If you're using a supercharger in California, it could be around $35-40. If you're charging at home, much less than that. But if you're on the road, you're going to be using superchargers. Let's take a look at the inside. We got to push that button there. Door pops open. Get that stainless steel frame right there, nice and sharp. Let's take a look at the interior. So inside we have that little over 19-inch touchscreen right there. We got our yoke steering wheel. Here are a little playthrough. We can move the car around as such. Pretty wide, spacious interior. Large center console, plenty of leg room. We can reach out to the middle over here. And let's take a look at the back. Got 3 more seats back here, so in comparison, both are 5-seater vehicles. But very nice design. We have very modern, everything is very polygonal, just like the car itself. Everything from the gas pedals to the cup holders to the screens, switches, all kind of match the design aesthetic of the CyberTruck. Even up here, we got this kind of a small little mirror up here. We got our forward reverse switches there. Here are our little sun deflectors, but we got a little opening up here as well, tinted over there. Very long wide screen, very large hood. This, honestly, if we reach all the way up there, I can't even get there, but this goes on for quite a while, so don't lose your parking passes because you ain't gonna be able to reach up there without jumping through. Let's take a look from the front at that dash. Super massive glass right here, all the way from here straight up to here. So that is what, like 3-4 feet, 4-foot dash space up there. But very elegant design. We got the large moonroof up here. And let's take a look from the back seat. All right, so we're gonna push the little button there. This opens up here. Here is the rear seating. Doors open up 90 degrees, just like the Honda CR-V. Here's our space. Driver's seat is a little bit back right now, so legroom, a little tight. More space over here. We got another 9-inch screen on the back. Very nice view from the back. We got a nice moonroof. All right, so now let's take a look at the interior of the Honda CR-V. All right, so the interior of the Honda CR-V, much more contemporary vehicle. We got our gear shifter right here. We have our dials and switches. I'm personally a fan of tactile feel, especially when driving. So it's nice to have some things in the form of a physical button and then having your entertainment on the 9-inch screen up here. Let's take a look through the front and the back. So again, both 5-seaters, plenty of interior space, plenty of legroom. Doesn't have a compartment that flows through like the CyberTruck, but these are different vehicles, different purposes. Got our center console here, leather seats on both. Both also comfy to sit in. But, you know, very nice modern designs on each vehicle, but much less polygonal compared to the CyberTruck there. Let's take a look at the rear seats. Gotta unlock this. All right. So, got our CR-V decals here. Again, a little bit more legroom in the CR-V. I am a full-sized male adult, so I'm gonna take up a lot more room than most. Here is space across, no touch screen in the back, but we do have 2 USB-C charging ports and our air vents right here for those here. And then we have storage in the back. Here's the view from the rear seat. We have just the moonroof, not the entire full panel. My personal preference was to actually have a vehicle with no moonroof at all, just in case of rollovers, more likely with higher vehicles. But I honestly never use this thing. It's never open. I have no desire to use it. California, we get plenty of sun, and I just don't want sunburn while I'm driving. So I've actually tinted all these windows with 3M ceramic IR, 99% UV blocking film. But yeah, that is the interior, and let's go into the next thing. All right, next we're going to be talking about off-road capabilities. I will link the YouTube channel of the owner here, Derek Wolf. He's got an off-road video that you guys can check out. I also have an off-road video on my channel. Both are all-wheel drive, can handle trails very nicely. Obviously, they're not, you know, Toyota 4Runners that are going to go over every single obstacle. These are primarily made to be street vehicles, so they can handle with their all-wheel drive. It'll be fun for trips. You can go off the road wherever you want, but you're not going to be doing anything crazy with either of these vehicles. Here is a sign of the commendability of the off-road. So Tesla actually's got hubcaps on their wheels. This one fell off during our off-roading adventure into the river, but here you can see a close-up of the actual rim on a CyberTruck without the hubcaps. I believe they're currently under recall, not this particular model because it doesn't have those little extra flaps that go into the tire, all these parts that have been getting knocked out. But in terms of latching on strength, it did fall off in a river while going off-road. Honda CR-V, aluminum alloy rims, powder coated, no hubcaps. Very nice, elegant design. Probably gonna get the little H tinted as well, just to match the aesthetic of the rest of the vehicle. These are 20-inch tires on the CyberTruck, and on the Honda CR-V Sport Touring, we have 19-inch tires. All right, next we're gonna be talking about cost of ownership. So the Honda CR-V currently with APR and financing out the door, this one was $57,000, very expensive for a CR-V. Current MSRP for the Sport Touring all-wheel drive is about $41,000. I do have a few add-ons that's increased the price. Also, the time I purchased this, there was a lot of markups in the California market, so couldn't do anything about that. Tesla Cybertruck Foundation Series is running at $100,000 with financing a little bit more. Originally, when these things were out for reservation, I believe the single motor was around $45,000. Currently, it's closer to $60,000. And then they got the dual and the tri-motor and the beast mode. This is the Foundation Series, which is 2 motors, an all-wheel drive, but that's looking around $100,000. Let's go into safety features. So the Honda CR-V is actually an IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus, which is the highest category of safety. It's got great sensors, the highest crash test ratings in all categories, pretty much like straight A's throughout the board. 1 or 2 marks that were a little bit below, but everything is pretty spectacular on this vehicle here. Tesla Cybertruck is basically the closest thing you're going to get to a street legal tank. It is stainless steel. Tesla has done their own safety test ratings, and you can see their videos, but there's nothing out currently from the IIHS or anyone independent of Tesla themselves. So I'm interested to see how it fares and crashes, especially being stainless steel. Not sure if the crumple zones are existent or going to work, or if all that force is going to go into the driver during an incident. I believe there's only been currently 1 crash recorded with the Cybertruck, and I do know the owner, the driver, was hurt a little bit. But we'll have to see how that plays out. You definitely don't want to be on the receiving end of this thing, because you're not gonna fare too well. And when I'm on the road, I'm staying clear of these guys. 6,800 pounds coming at you. No, thank you. Honda CR-V, it's a little over, I think, 4,300 pounds, so definitely lighter. The battery is what's going to be adding a lot of the weight here. Your average sedan is going to be around 3,000 to 4,000 pounds. And you know, the way mass and gravity works, the heavier vehicle is usually the one that's going to win in the crash. But it all depends how the forces and design is all played out. So Honda has been great with accident ratings and everything. They have crumple zones. The engine will fall down and back instead of up toward the driver. Everything will crumple and take a lot of the impact in. But excited to see future videos on the Tesla Cybertruck and how they fare with that. All right, so next up we are going to be comparing the storage space between the Cybertruck and the Honda CR-V. Inside the Honda CR-V, we have about 40 cubic feet of space in the rear. In the Tesla Cybertruck, we have about 120 cubic feet of space. Obviously, because it's a truck, it's going to be a lot bigger. And this is how it opens up right here. We got a little switch. There we go.
Yo.
What are you doing in there, my guy?
Okay, I was trying to take a nap, bro. Why are you? Oh, okay, I guess I'm awake now.
Let's check out
Listen, but if you would like, you can go ahead and subscribe to my channel. The links are going to be in the description down below.
Sounds good, my guy. Let's take a look at that space now. So here is that space. We got the LED lights going through the side. We got the tonneau cover that goes up and down, and the door that opens with the little button here. To close it, you'll have to manually bring it back up. Obviously, it's a 6-foot bed truck, so you're going to be able to fit a lot more than the CR-V. But the CR-V actually has chairs that can fold over, unlocking about 5-foot bed that you can fit in a lot of things in as well. I put bikes in here. I fit up to 3 bikes in here personally, 2 e-bikes and a regular bike. But plenty storage space in both options, so you can't go wrong. Obviously, if you're going to be hauling, doing some work, CyberTruck's going to be a little nicer. The walls are a little bit high, so reaching over to grab just one thing is going to be a little bit more of a challenge compared to your average truck. But beautiful design and space on both. And also in the bed, we have a little bit of storage space under here. Can fit a lot of things. You can put ice in here. It drains from the bottom, so great to have that little extra compartment there. And then on the side, we actually have some power options as well. You got your standard plugs and a 240 volt. Not sure, maybe you can charge another Tesla with that there. We do have accessory latches on the side, L-rack hooks, but very nice view here. In the Honda CR-V, I do have my own latches, keeping down a spare tire. Just a little addition, because most hybrid SUVs aren't going to come with a spare tire, because that's where the battery is placed. So I've added my own, and I've gotten mine from Modern Spare actually. They are a sponsor of some videos, so if you want to pick up your own spare tire for your CR-V, check out the link in the description below. I'll include a little coupon code. You'll get $25 off, and it is a very excellent spare tire. I keep this on for my longer journeys. We're headed to Vegas soon. Going to be a nice 4-hour drive, so great to have when you're in the middle of nowhere. I got my little roadside assistance kit with little charging cables and everything, and battery jump cables. We got our first aid kit, we got our tire inflator, but we are ready to go. Let's do an overall view of these vehicles to wrap up this video. Thank you guys for watching a little comparison here. I am not a professional YouTuber. This is just a hobby to show you guys some stuff about the car. Originally, when I got my CR-V, there was no content on it, so I was like, let me make my own so that we can help other buyers take a look and see if those vehicles are right for them. But now we got a CyberTruck, so let's take a look at that as well. Hope you guys liked everything. Please like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you guys would like for future videos, more comparisons, or focus on the Honda CR-V. This is the Dr. Honda channel after all. Thank you guys so much, and have a great day.